G'day fellas and welcome to A Casted Game. Spawning in on the south side of the map, playing in the color red, as the Holy Roman Empire, it's Vortix. And on the north side of the map, playing as the Mongols in the color blue, we've got Puppy Paw. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your Road to Red Bull Wallalol Legacy week, I think it's number 3. Week number 3 grand finals. We've got a best of 5 for you guys here today, tomorrow, however long it takes to get these games out to you guys. It'll be, I think we do one every 12 hours, don't we? So it'll be about 2.5 games if it does go all the way, or 2.5 days rather, if it does go all the way, because this is a best of 5. Now, let's talk a little bit about this this early game, because we are on Khao-San. What can we expect? I tell you right now, we can expect some very long feudal ages. We've been seeing absolutely crazy feudal ages coming out on this map, and I'm absolutely in love with it. And I'm curious to see what direction these players look to go. Undoubtedly, we can see that Vortix here already quite heavy on the wood is going to be looking to expand it to the water. Now, one thing to note is that on this map, there are 2 ponds, which means he's going to be able to take this closest pond to him. Up towards the north, Puppy Paw going to be able to do the same thing. Now, the other difference is that we may have an early barracks that goes down, and that's exactly what Puppy Paw is going to be doing. Going for an early barracks, a little bit of a rejuggle on that barracks. Does get it down though. Villager's got 10 food in it. I think we saw it here a bit earlier on the berries. He built the uvu, came back, got the berries, and then went back over and finished off the racks. So instead of opening with the dock, it's going to be direct to the barracks, and he'll be looking to put out pressure, undoubtedly, very early on. Now, one of the things to note is he doesn't know exactly where his enemies spawned. On this map, sometimes you can get weird spawns. So you can see that Puppy Paw is kind of spawned up towards his northern position. And the way that he's rallying indicates that he doesn't know exactly where his enemy is. In fact, he thinks his enemy is over here. But you guys know the truth. There is no enemy around here. In fact, the enemy is a little bit further down. And naturally, that's going to make it very easy for Vortix to expand to this pond. So we'll have to wait and see whether he spots that out. Now, it is going to be a double scout opening for Vortix. Over on the other side, Puppy Paw, he's only going to be doing the single scout opening, aka the Khan build. And I'm curious to see how this affects the game, because typically on water maps, you'd expect to see players look to go for an early dock and then into the barracks, but not going to be the case here for Puppy Paw. He does it the other way around and now spots out that, hold on a minute, there's no one here. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. And now those spears are going to be moving down towards the south side. We're yet to see a villager come out as well, which indicates that he's not too interested in getting down an outpost, rather just looking to put on pressure to whatever dock may or may not be coming up. Now, interestingly, for this map, it is a little bit too far away to do the emergency repairs. Now, interestingly, Vortix, I would have loved to have seen him expand with the barracks out over here and look to try and get that emergency repairs out towards this direction, just so that you can use it in the event that you get into a bit of a jiffy. Speaking of jiffies, ladies and gentlemen, we're 3 minutes into the game and our first spearmen are already out looking to do a bit of a tassel. Beginning to fire down upon each other. Khan working in a couple of shots. We can see both players looking to work down each of their respective spears as the third spear does make its way out, and the dock is indeed going up over on the other side of the map. Puppy Paw going to be doing the same thing. So both players opening with early barracks, and I got to say, I love this. This is what makes this map exciting. I talk about this quite a bit. What part of the reason why I love Khao-San is because we do see this early aggression coming out. Players realize how important it is to maintain control of these little ponds in the early stages of the game, and now the Prelate going to be coming out. Oh, no, 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 don't you do me like that. And the Prelate going to be applying some early heals, and this is why people are opting towards the Holy Roman Empire on this map. It just makes a lot of sense. Prelate comes out, provides some great healing efficiency early on in the game. Now, obviously, you'd love to have the Prelate back here buffing up these villagers. There's a lot of resources to be gathered back there. The more wood you get, the more boats you get. The more boats you get, the more resources you get. It's a circle of life. But those spearmen are going to be falling back for the moment. Now, one of the things that we have seen players do on the Holy Roman Empire is really look to get those spearmen numbers up quite high in the Dark Age. I'm talking 15, 20 spears in the Dark Age and look to apply pressure on the Mongol side of the map. And that's exactly what Vortix seems to be doing at this stage. Back towards the base of Puppy Paw, he's started gathering up gold. Look at the gold he's gathering up right now. He's going to be going for an early wheelbarrow potentially here. I'm not sure exactly what the intent is, but aggression now going to be the name of the game. We'd yet to see an outpost down on this dock, but you'd hope sooner rather than later, Puppy Paw will need to defend this. Now, looking to try and come in towards this position. Obviously, no Prelate out because we are on the offense. Typically, if you're on the offense, the Prelate's going to have to walk quite a long way. Spearmen continuing to be rallied across the map. Now, Puppy Paw, he remains on the defensive, still yet to drop down that outpost. Have we got... No, we don't have a wheelbarrow through. He's just collected 265 gold for the heck of it. 269, in fact. And now running a little bit idle. the consequences of paying too much attention to your military, not enough attention to your economy. The age up going to be coming through, though. It's going to be looking to drop down deer stones on towards the front of the base. Going to be able to give him a little bit of a boost when it comes to attacking, defending. Now we look down at Vortex, and he's got 4 villagers on gold. No gold in the bank, though. Just 42 gold. That is all he's going to have. He continues to rally up units towards this northern position. We see spearmen coming across one by one. He's got plenty of fishing boats out here. He's going to be adding in the 4th fishing boat. He sees his enemy as well, looking to gather up those fish on the shore, but he can do significant damage here. Spears slowly but steadily adding in more and more siege onto this position. Vortex reaching that very critical point, 40 population in the Dark Age. Compare it over to Puppy Paw. He's got more spears in queue. It's going to be that double production, which is really where the Mongol strength comes in the Dark Age. It's the double production versus the strength of the Holy Roman Empire, which is the healing. And he continues to commit to this. Now, the idea is that you want to try and take this out before your enemy reaches the 2nd age, or rather as they reach the 2nd age, because now you can see that he's not going to have time to get out a light junk. Villagers moving forward. It looks like an outpost might be the name of the game here. Still not enough resources to actually get that light junk out. Going to be looking for the hardened upgrade on the spearman as well. Should get a decent little fight. The villager's going to be able to tank up this position. First villager might go down. Oh, he manages to pull it back. Good little play there by Puppy Paw. Villagers coming back, and that's going to be able to buy him enough time that the hardened spearman upgrade comes through, and he should be able to defend from this position over towards the east of the map. We do see the spearman, or rather the Khan, going up against the scout. The scout does get a bonus against other scouts, and technically the Khan is a scout. The Khan does not get any bonuses against scouts, and with that, the Khan, rest in peace, he goes down. Unfortunate times if you're a fan of the Khan. Now that 2nd dock going to get added up, and look at this. Looky what we got here. We got an Arkan Chapel coming up for Vortex, and now those spears moving down towards this position. The villager going to be trying its best to finish off the dock. Spearmen need to move into position. You don't want to right-click. You just want to move around, and he takes it out. Oh, that's a big victory right there for Vortex. Not only does he take out the villager, but he's also going to take out the dock at 92%. Looked doubtful that it was getting up, and indeed it was. Manages to get it up, and now those hardened spearmen are going to be moving out in quite decent numbers. He's got 10 normal Dark Age spearmen versus the 9 hardened spearmen, so it looks like the dock will still get up. But remember, when it comes to the water matchup here, typically the Holy Roman Empire are going to be doing a little bit better than the Mongols, just because their galleys are so much stronger. But now Puppy Paw on that north side going to be investing in the light junk and looking to probably get some patrols in along this edge of the water. Unfortunately, it's going to be a little bit too late. And speaking of too late, hardened spearmen now coming in for Vortex, and both players looking to find it out with their own hardened spearmen. I love this. I love this. We're 8 minutes into the game. So much action. This is what Age of Empires 4 should be. You should be going through the ages, dealing with your enemy at every single age. Over towards that west side, or that west pond, we do have the dock that's come up, and now the galley going to be coming out, so Vortex going to be moving into a great position. So far, a lot of early victories here for Vortex. We saw an early victory over here, taking out the villager, managing to force another one to come out. And now over on that west side, he does successfully get that pond down, or the dock is out on it. More villagers moving around. Look at this. Puppy Paw, unfortunately, has found a wolf over towards that east side. We'll check back in over on the base of Vortex. Not the best positioning on this Arkan Chapel. He's got a nice little spot here in between everything. You kind of like this a little bit closer, maybe one tile just up a bit more, because there is a significant amount of vills that aren't being buffed up by this bad boy. But now, towards that dock, apologies. There's been a little bit of a fist fight. I say fist fight, but it's a bit more spear-orientated. Looks like Puppy Paw are going to be forcing away from this position, but the galley is now out, and with the galley coming out, that is all over Red Rover on this pond, and up towards the north, it's going to be the same thing, unless you're able to get some outposts in, and it makes it very difficult, because ideally you want an outpost on this side, and then an outpost on this side, but with outposts being nerfed, not as good as they used to be with that 8 range, it makes it a bit harder to control the entirety of this pond. Now that galley going to be working down. The fishing boat does manage to go down. Light junks turning their attention towards the galley, but keep in mind the galley could be very capable of dealing with this threat on the water. Over towards this east side, Vortex just looking very good in this game. At this point, my percentage that I often talk about, that little meter up to the top, it's looking very good for Vortex. I'm thinking, 60-65% chance at this point in the game. So Puppy Paw definitely on the down at the moment. Yet to really think about aging up. We see more light junks coming out for him. Looks like a fishing boat's gone down. He's going to be focusing down the galleys here. You can see the damage that comes out. The stat difference between these two. For anybody wondering, why is there such a big difference? Well, have a look at this. 400 health and 3 armor versus 550 health and 5 armor. You might not think the extra 2 armor makes a difference, but when you consider that these guys are firing 6 burst attacks, that 2 armor difference makes a total of 12 health difference out on the water in these battles, which really starts to stack up. You know, you fire that off once, it's 12. 2 times, it's 24 damage. And it really starts to build, obviously. And then 3 burst attacks on the other side. Now, obviously, the junks are a little bit cheaper. 120 and 90 versus 180 and 180. But obviously, you prefer the galley every single day of the week. But hold on a minute. Puppy Paw pushing out with a nice little mass here. Some early archers going to be applying pressure. The same time towards that east pond, the light junk going to be trying to hold off. He finds a little bit of a concave. Well, not a concave, but a little bit of a choke point. Able to push in now. Going to be forcing him off the wood line. Manages to hold on for a bit longer. Emergency repair is going to be in play here, so don't count him out when it comes to sieging down these buildings. It'd be very easy for him to just repair those bad boys up. But now, over towards this east side, he's done a great job, Puppy Paw has, in stopping the fishing from over here. We can see him trying to work through this and just focusing down the fishing boat. It's not going to have a lot of luck. But Vortix manages to take control of both ponds. Essentially, at this point, it is... I mean, we talk about that win percentage meter, and you got to put Vortix at close to 80% now. I mean, he's got control of both ponds. So, realistically, he should just be dock booming behind this. It should be a double dock boom, an open-ended double dock boom, a heavy feudal age, a lot of spearmen so he doesn't die to the knights. No, emergency repairs coming down. Vortix, what are you doing? Giving away a building, not the smartest of moves. He's got emergency repairs ready to go. So unfortunately, a little bit of a misplay there. But now we see Puppy Paw moving down, and it's going to be an outpost on the edge of the pond, as you would expect. A little bit of a raid attempt there. Going to get cleaned up as Vortix now looks to secure this position. He's adding in more houses on the edge, trying to expand out that emergency repairs network. And we've seen men-at-arms coming in the fuel age. Vortix going for an age 3 play here. This is something I don't actually agree with. And part of the reason why I don't agree with this is you've just maintained, or you've just gained control of these ponds. Really, you should be putting the pedal to the metal. You should be going absolutely ham with fishing boats right now. You've got the equivalent of 2 TCs ready to pump out non-stop units here. Go for it, man. Go for it. Absolutely just go ham for it. And now it gets found out over towards the east side. Nice little play here. We did see that multiple villagers had gone down on this outpost attempt for Puppy Paw. So villager count at the moment, 43 for Vortix, 36 for Puppy Paw. He's fallen behind. The Puppy Paw going to be thinking about that 3rd age. Now, what are the big factors when it comes to the Mongols in the 3rd age? Number 1. It's going to be that Lancer aggression that you'd expect out, and we do indeed see a stable going down on the Uvu. So indeed, we're going to be expecting many Lancers coming out. Number 2, it's going to be relics being picked up around the map, and that could be part of the reason why Vortix wants to try and get up to the Castle Age sooner rather than later. He says, you know what, don't worry about the fish. We can always worry about them later. Let's focus on just getting up to the 3rd age so we can get some of those relics in the bag, because he might want to be investing in that Regnitz Cathedral and subsequently looking to try and secure up these relics. There's plenty of them out on the map. Number 3 for the Mongols is going to be adding in a 2nd town center. So make sure that once he's got that step redoubt up and away, as we can see he's got now, he's going to be looking to add in a market, and he's going to be trading out all that gold that he's going to be getting and looking to buy plenty of wood with it. And with that wood, he's going to be building that 2nd town center, and his economy will be looking a lot more healthy. And then that somewhat puts the Holy Roman Empire on a timer, because the Mongol player is now up on 2 TCs versus the Holy Roman Empire, who's only on 1. So he's going to make a decision. You know, how quickly do I want to get to the Imperial Age? Because the Mongols typically, they want to beeline, or rather the Holy Roman Empire want to beeline towards that Imperial Age. But it's not always going to be the case, and we now see that Age 3 coming in. It's going to be the Regnitz Cathedral. Now, we've only got 1 prelate out for Vortix. Not the best situation. Typically, at this point, you'd want to be on 2, maybe even 3 prelates. Now, he's going to be able to train prelates from his Regnitz Cathedral. But one of the powers that the Mongols have got, or rather, sorry, the Holy Roman Empire have got, is that they're able to move their prelates out on the map. So you can take this prelate from inside here and get him out towards this relic, so that as soon as you age up, you click on the relic, boom, it's picked up immediately. You don't have to muck around with any of those silly shenanigans. And now, over on the other side of the map, though, we do see Puppy Paw doing some trading, and it's going to be for that wood. We talked about it a bit earlier. He's going to be looking for 2nd town center, most likely. He's lost out on the water, so it's definitely going to be a big focus of him to get that economy back. And a war junk going to be coming out for him. Is he going to... Oh, he's going double war junk. Oh, I like this play. This is good. He's got 2 docks up. Now, both of these junks should get out. The docks might be on fire, but 2 junks should be, or war junks should be more than enough to hold that position. And now, a little bit of a dance party up towards this northern position. archers just going to get chased away. Plenty of infantry out for both of these players. Not a lot of cavalry. Interesting to note is that we don't see any cavalry coming out from that Uvu or from that stable just yet. Warjunk is out. He's going to be trying his best to hold on in this position. He's going to be able to get double shots off spin to win, the classic style. He's not firing any. You got to fire those. No, not at the fishing boats. You want to be firing right now with the at the galleys, and now the galleys looking to focus down the Warjunk. Fishing boats should be coming out to repair this position. Up towards the north, those archers going to be going down well and truly. Down towards the south, there's just action all over this map. Warjunk getting focused down, but it manages to take out two of the galleys, and now all of a sudden, Puppy Paw looking to take control of this pond. All three of the galleys do go down. And now with this, he's going to be able to maintain control of this edge and of this this southern pond. So very nice play here from Puppy Paw. The consequence of not focusing down these docks. You know, we talked about it. The fact if Vortex had looked to commit to the feudal age, go a bit heavier on the spearmen, look to siege down these docks, he'd be in a great little spot. Obviously, you know, he's going to be down on the relics, and he looks to try and pick them up now. We see that relic being picked up, the first one, but unfortunately, I mean, you guys know, this is how the Mongols work. They love to get those lances out, and something Vortex should have foreseen here is that he's not going to be able to get these relics back, just simply because of the Mongol powers, which are those very, very powerful lances, the double lancer production. Uvu has been moved. Vortex thinking about hitting that Imperial Age timing. Khan did go down over here as well. But now the Warjunk's out on the battlefield. Fishing boat's going to be coming out here and going to be able to clean up this position. So now not only have you lost a pond on the south, but you've given it over to your enemy. And it's going to be even more fishing boats coming out. He's looking to produce 4 Warjunks. Now, if you were ever looking for a definition of overkill, it's 4 Warjunks in one of these ponds. 2 is more than enough to clean this out, and then you can just hold the positions on the south. The issue that you're going to have is if you go into 4 Warjunks, well, now you're just going to start attracting Springalds, Culverin, Bombards, all the good stuff. First relic does come back, though. Vortex going to be successfully picking that bad boy up, and we start to see more prelates coming out of his Regnitz Cathedral. Remember, the Regnitz was changed so that it is now acting as a fully fledged, a fully upgraded monastery, able to train, able to research, all that good stuff. And of course, able to hold up to 3 relics inside it. Now down towards this south side, the men-at-arms going to be firing down upon the, or rather, going to be attacking, sticking his sword in the backs of the villagers. And we've lost the music. Once again on this map, we've lost the music. You know, it seems quite often that on this map, we seem to lose the music. But it's back. Do not fret, ladies and gentlemen, the music is back. The orchestra has been contacted. Now an outpost attempt on the water. Going to be denied here. Puppy Paw able to pick off villagers. Should be successful. Actually, he's always focusing down the outpost. This could be terrible. Puppy Paw doesn't realize. Ideally, oh my gosh, these villagers could easily be taken out. He's got so much damage on these. I think he's actually got enough shots to one-shot villagers. But it's not going to matter because he's focusing down the outpost. And I think that Puppy Paw's realized that. He manages to get the outpost up. And with that, the Springald emplacement going to be coming up. Should be able to seal up that dock. And once that dock comes up, it's going to be a Warjunk that will come out. And slowly but steadily, Puppy Paw is finding a way back into this game. I mean, we talked about this earlier. The reality is, if you don't invest in that feudal age, you're not able to hold on to your ponds. And if you're not able to hold on to your ponds, well then, really, what do you have going for you? Springald emplacement, now going to be coming through with this. It's going to force back these galleys, and he's going to be able to establish a real nice beachhead, or beachfront over here. Double Knights moving out over here. Should be able to clean up this position, but one of the things you got to be careful of is that charge. Let's see if he looks to try and do a bit of a ring around the rosy. Might come around this southern wood line. Prelate picking up the relic. Looks like he's just going to fall back for now. Looking to try and come back in. One more attack should do it. Actually, it's going to be 2 more. We hear more relics being picked up. It's going to be that shaman in the north. Knights moving up towards it. Oh, no, we've got a prelate out on the loose. If he gets 1 charge and 1 attack off, which I think technically he should be able to do, Puppy Paw's looking for it. I don't know whether he's going to spot it. He's just coming back towards the gold mine. He might have to apex the corner, and more knights coming through. Villagers going to be chased away around this position. Knight does get taken out. Unfortunate. He would have been able to pick that up, but now that shaman towards the north is going to get taken out as well. Big fights over these relics. And now the question is, where have all the relics gone? So we've got our first relic that came back in. Second relic over here. Up towards the north side. We've got no relics at the moment in the bag at all for Puppy Paw. But he does have units on the way. We've got 1 relic here. Second relic here. Third relic was over towards this eastern side. I'm not sure exactly where it's gone. It might be on the way in. Oh my lord, where's that? I'm not sure exactly where. Oh, there it is. So Puppy Paw doing a decent job at the moment. He's controlling 3 of the relics. And the 2 at the north remain contested. So I mean, Puppy Paw's, or rather, Vortex is doing a very good job with the relics. I apologize. So really good job by Vortex. Gets the charges off on that Spearman. Looking to force the villagers back away from this position. Keep in mind the pond over here is probably going to be lost as well, as we now start to see War Junks coming out. Now, you can contest War Junks with your Hulks, but the reality is the War Junks are a better unit. They are simply a better unit. They got a little bit of extra range, and that's what really makes the difference. The exception being, of course, English Hulks, which are the most beautiful Hulks that there are. I mean, maybe the French Hulks are kind of there because they're available in Age 2. But the English have got galleys in Age 2, which are pretty damn good anyway. We hear that 4th relic being picked up. Now, Vortex is going to be very happy with that. Keep in mind, he's got access to, or he's got the Regnitz Cathedral up, which means every single relic that he's got out here is going to be gathering up 200 gold a minute. That is an impressive amount of gold. We can see the Lancer moving out, looking for that relic, saying, hold on a minute, where did that relic go? Where did the relic go? We've lost the relic. And now the control maintains on this southern pond. Puppy Paw not looking terrible. He's still yet to drop down a second town center, though. So I'm getting a little bit confused. Your economy. I mean, I wouldn't say it's necessarily falling behind, but he's evened it up. That's for sure. We'll check in on the village account and see how it's doing as the Knights look to fight up against the Lancers here. We got the Knights, of course, from the Holy Roman Empire versus the Lancers of the Mongols. There's more coming in now on this villager line. Village account at the moment for Puppy Paw, 53, 52. It's going to continue falling, continue dwindling as those Knights fall back. So 52 versus the 62 for Vortex. So not a terrible outcome for him at all to be up 10 villagers, despite losing his ponds. So very rarely do you get to see a player who wins both ponds and then see his enemy retake both ponds so well. And I think that's going to be I think this is going to be a significant factor in this game. Because earlier I spoke about, you know, the fact that I thought Vortex was on a really good chance to win this game. I believe right now that has swung massively to Puppy Paw. You might not realize how strong the water is, but I assure you it is incredibly strong. Maintaining control of the water means that you maintain control of the middle of the map. And with that, it enables you to leverage things like the Sacred Site. We can see already there's a Sacred Site over here. So you're always able to fall back towards any of your long-range boats like the War Junk. And then, you know, God forbid you get Imperial and start thinking about Balschwans. Now you're going to have a real problem if you're the Holy Roman Empire, because those things absolutely are out. I gotta think about YouTube demonetization. They absolutely do bad things to your enemy. Let's just say that much. Knights looking good, though. Knights and Lancers going up against each other. Spearman also coming in the mix. He's got just a handful of them, but it'll be more than enough to deny this position. Vortex gonna have to fall back away from this. He's looked to get the +2 melee attack upgrade and +1 melee armor upgrade. So now, for the moment, those units gonna have to fall back. Vortex starting to stack up the wood as well. A farm transition, I suspect, will be coming in shortly. He's got plenty of infrastructure here around this Archon Chapel. You might even start thinking about deleting it. Just because the farms are going to be a lot more useful if they're underneath that Archon Chapel versus not underneath that Archon Chapel. Let's just put it that way. 1,800 wood in the bank for him. He's looking like you might have watched a few Drongo videos. I'm infamous for my my wood stacking abilities, but now Vortex might get caught with his pants down as the movement speed arrow going to be fired off by the Khan. A couple of charges coming in on the backside of a few spearmen. Villagers going to get taken out as well. Beautiful job cleaning this up at the same time. Sacred sites are being contested over in the west, over in the east, and everything is neutralized for the moment. The center remains being held down and villagers moving out. Unfortunately, Puppy Paw not looking the best. He was already down 10 villagers. He's going to be losing more. He's down to 63 villagers. All of them have been cleaned up. 62. And think 61 villagers. Compare that over to his opponent, who's on 68. Vortex also throwing away a couple of villagers. I'm not sure exactly where they were. Perhaps he's just forgotten to train them for a little bit. And now we see Inspired Warriors coming in. Could this be the technology that changes everything? You know, we saw, I think it was a Salami game, we saw this technology used. Inspired Warriors plus Massed Knights. Means that they've all got that extra damage, all got that extra armor, and it just means that they're really able to be quite strong once you reach the mid-game. But now, to the north, the Khan does go down. And the Prelates move out, looking to try and heal. Beautiful numbers of Knights out here. Gets a point-blank charge off. This is, I think he was looking to charge the Prelates, and that's how we got that point-blank charge off. Now charges coming through on the Prelates on the backside. I'm not sure if Herbal Medicine's in just yet. We can double-check over on the Regnitz. Herbal Medicine not in just yet. But undoubtedly, he does look to buff them up, and now we start seeing the upgrade. They are inspired. It's like a pariah, but you inspire. Yeah, Puppy Paw, I mean, he's on the defensive now, but the economy is what's going for it. his villager count up to 65. A lot of this is going to be fishing boats. We'll take a look and see what his units are at. He's got 20 fishing boats and now falling into this this outpost positioning. The single outpost that enabled him to regain control of this pond and look to really establish this beachfront. We see the war junk moving over, looking to try and defend it. Should be able to take down the outpost. There are more outposts coming up in this position. We don't see the second town center out, and he's not needed a second TC. You want to know why? Because he's got all the expansion that he needs in these docks. Very, very smart from Puppy Paw. And now we see emplacements coming through, looking to try and defend on this position. The Knights, unfortunately, going to be forced back away from this. In the center of the map, more charges coming down, raids on the backside, and we see indeed we did have a bit of a delete in. Plenty of farms now coming through for Vortex. He's sitting on, how many farms is he on? 36 farms. Not a bad amount of farms to be at 25 minutes into the game. Food economy, very important, but this raid is actually pretty big. 65 villagers. He's continuing to lose villas. You got to wake up right now, Vortex. You are losing villagers by the second. Big charges coming in. Look at that. Oh my lord, this is terrible for Vortex. It's 60 villagers, but I guess he's got the Regnitz Cathedral about to drop. And now all of a sudden those villagers do finally get the memo. Hey, you probably want to stop dying, villagers. And they say, all right, I guess we'll go to the town center. And indeed they do. But now that Regnit's going to be coming up in the back of the base, or rather the Palace of Swabia. I say Regnitz. She's stronger. You got to wake yourself up, my friend. I don't know whether this is going to be a good idea, though. He's going to be able to hold it underneath this this outpost with the emplacement on it, and that'll be able to defend this position, but he's going to continue losing villagers, down to 54 villagers right now. This could be a very key moment here as Vortex continues to run away from these Knights. They're just causing havoc everywhere. Imagine what a wall could have done here. Imagine if you just walled off this position, and you want to know the reason why you can't wall off this position? Because you don't have control of the water. Now, you could have walled off along here, but obviously it's not as attractive. It's not as beautiful. Now Puppy Paw looking very strong as he's maintained and flipped control of both of these ponds. We've gone from a 90% chance of Vortex winning the game, and unfortunately Puppy Paw found that 10%. And now all of a sudden Puppy Paw is sitting on about a 90% chance to win this game. Sure, even though Vortex is heading to Imperial Age, even though things are looking good for him, the reality is that with double pond control, it makes it so difficult to close out this game. Your enemy's always going to be able to maintain pretty decent control of this central corridor. We can see right now that the war junks are ready to begin firing upon any of the units, and I'm starting to think Puppy Paw might be thinking about setting up a potential a front line over here. We're yet to see any villagers move out. We'll have a look and see if he's got any on the way. There they are. Villagers moving across the map, and it's going to be an outpost that goes down in the center, and he's going to be looking to establish this front line, this trench, if you will. Trench warfare, obviously very, very popular with the Mongols. They don't have access to keeps, so you got to make do with what you got, and the keep is definitely, or rather outposts are definitely what is going to be handy. Springald emplacements going to be coming through. Not going to be opting for the cannon emplacements. A little bit more expensive. But Vortex now really suffering, really trying his best. We see Elite Knight's going to be coming in now. Prelate's also moving forward here. Keep in mind, we're yet to see those herbal medicine upgrades, but he does have the inspiration upgrade. Inspiration upgrade going to be able to provide a very nice bonus here. 15% damage and 1 armor. You might not think 15 damage is a lot, but when you stack it up on top of things like the Elite Knight upgrades, let's have a look and see if we can spot. There we go. An extra 9 damage on that bad boy. And now the charges coming in. Spear's going to be able to turn around, going to be able to mitigate a couple of charges there and continue to see. Now it's going to be the armor arrow that gets fired off. And now the Elite Knights look to try and take out the enemy position. The Prelates on the back line raising their what? In the air. That's a quote from League of Legends. Raise your what? Heimerdinger. But it looks like a repel going to be happening. More and more Knights coming in, trickling in. I'd love to see more Prelates coming out with some herbal medicine. Herbal medicine here would really make the difference. Keep in mind, it is not banned. You can get this bad boy in. Don't forget, we can also get Tithe Barns in. We are in the Imperial Age. Rare to see the games go this long these days. Typically, they are over a little bit earlier than this. But now Puppy Paw, he's looking good as he continues to rally in troops from the north. Now, what you'd love to see from our Holy Roman Empire player Vortex is some Landsknechts. Landsknechts here are what are going to decimate the forces from Vortex. If Vortex pulls out Landsknechts, he will be able to crunch this force that is out from Puppy Paw. So let's see if he's doing that. Indeed he is. It's Landsknechts that are coming out. So very smart decision here from him to go for that. Landsknechts are going to be incredibly powerful because you're going to need range units to deal with them. You just simply can't use melee units with them. They're way too strong. Even Knights per cap, or not per capita, but just, you know, Knights are just going to get destroyed now. That keep is going to get spotted out. The outpost with the Springald emplacement would have revealed it, or at least it should have revealed it. Those two are touching. You guys know what they say. keeps our friends, not enemies. That's why we keep them close. But now, in the middle of the map, the Step Redoubt has moved up. We've got a Siege Workshop coming out. So instead of moving into Siege Engineering, which is what you'd expect, or improved Siege Engineering, he's just going to opt for a Siege Workshop, which is kind of curious. Typically, you'd expect to go a little bit heavier on Siege Engineering, especially with this much infantry. But Puppy Paw might be thinking about going towards the Imperial Age. We can see his resources definitely indicating that improved roller shutter trigger is going to be a big factor in this matchup. The Culverin is available to the Holy Roman Empire, one of the few civs that does have access to it, but it is outranged by the Springald of the Mongols. They are one of the only civs that get the they are the only civ that get the 13 range Springald, which enables them to get off earlier shots than those Culverins. So you can see right here, improved roller shutter triggers increases the weapon range by 3 tiles and also reduces the reload time by 35% instead of 25%. So you've just got these crazy good Springalds. Now up towards the north, nice little push coming in from Vortix. Is looking for villagers, not going to be able to find anything. Some gold mines out towards the east, yet to be touched. He's done a great job of just exhausting all the gold in the center, you know, the more hotly contested gold at this point, and keeps coming up over on the edge of the map for Vortix here. Now, this has been spotted out by Puppy Paw. He's got the dock here, which is going to give rise to, or give vision of that. He's still allowing the keep to stay up for the moment, and that's more than enough spears to be able to take that out. But we see the Imperial Age coming through from Puppy Paw. Knights moving out over with the Landsknecht. A beautiful composition. Keep in mind, these guys have all got their inspiration ready to go. 6 prelates out for Vortix. He's yet to move them forward with this army. Hopefully he looks to connect them up. There's plenty of villagers out here. And now continuing to move forward, the Landsknechts. The question's going to be whether these war junks, and look, keep in mind, these war junks are like bombards at this point. They're like 6.5 range bombards. Keep does get cancelled. It's going to be a little bit more defensive. Still looking to secure up this gold vein on the south side. This gold vein's available in the north. Always feels a bit more difficult to get to when you don't have control of those ponds, though, doesn't it, Vortix? The consequence of not focusing on those ponds in the early age. But now we'll enter into the cinematic mode once again as the prelates move forward together with the Landsknechts, getting some big swings in. Watch out, fellas. These guys don't just have big swords. They've also got really big tube socks, and they will take you down. Villagers standing idle for the moment, getting some decent trades in here. It's going to be the knights going up against the spears, and that's exactly what you want if you're holding on to the spears. But still, those numbers looking pretty decent for our Holy Roman Empire players. Vortix looks to continue solidifying this position down to the south. The healing coming in, and Vortix with a commanding victory in the south. Still, I mean, we're at 130 population for him at the moment, 102 villagers, 105 villagers for Puppy Paw, 157. So a pretty decent lead there on the population count. Bombard, actually, that's not a Bombard, that's a Mangonel. Boar out here as well, able to pick up reinforcements, and this is a huge consequence of that earlier. It honestly just goes back to the flipping of the two ponds. I think that's really what it comes down to. You know, had you had more spears out, you would have been able to siege down the docks. And if the docks weren't up, then they never would have got war junks out. If the war junks aren't out, then you don't lose the ponds. And by the same token, up towards the north, I mean, it's just an unfortunate lapse of APM. It can be something very, very quick, like that outpost. And that's all your enemy needs to get a foothold. Now down towards the south, the keep is successfully up. A couple of unique upgrades we got down here. Reinforced defenses. We've got slate and stone construction. All buildings gain 5 armor. And increase health of walls, towers, and gates by 40%. Nice little upgrade. Walls, tower. I wonder, does that include towers like outposts? No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't. These are towers, right? Yeah, stone wall towers. These are outposts. So it doesn't include the outpost. It would say very specifically if it did. Towards the north, we've got a little bit of a keep drop coming up. That's a lot of villages. I'd normally imply that a keep like this would be doubtful. But with this many villagers, I might be convinced the other way. Let's see how he looks to play it. Puppy Paw now going to be able to spot this one out. Suspect all the military in the middle going to be moving in this direction. Indeed it is. And you can see the rally point that was issued over towards this and now going to be moving towards the keep. The keep going to be dropped down. Springald emplacement. Zo Cannon emplacement's going to be coming up. He doesn't have long on these bad boys. He's got 40 seconds. I think he's going to need less time than that, though. And the keep does get cancelled. He says, you know what? We're not going to bother. But now all of a sudden he's going to get caught from behind. Yam network going to be applied to these units, and another keep was going to be dropped down here, but now the Lancers are coming in. These guys have got the elite upgrades as well. Things not going well right now for Vortix. He's going to be able to force these units back and think about the keep as the new Khan rises from the dead like a zombie. This guy is trying his best to hold on to this position, but Vortix, unfortunately, going to be able to push him back for the moment. Hand Cannoneer is also going to be coming out. We enter into the cinematic mode. Where are the prelates at, though? That's the question. There they are, moving up towards the front line, but the numbers here looking pretty damn decent for Vortix. He gets completely eaten alive on the backside. You'd love to see a Mangonel or two out in a lot of production now coming down for him. Looking to try and get this keep up. Villagers not really committing. Or rather, not a lot of villagers here to build this. I think he may have moved some back, thinking that he would be okay to hold. The healing going to be helping out a little bit, but I still don't think we've got that herbal medicine upgrade in. More villagers moving out towards his position, but look at them just get taken out. We talked about it, doubtful whether it's going to be coming up or not, but he continues to focus down the villagers. We'll enter into the cinematic mode and see how many he's got. He's only got 7 remaining. He gets the keep up, but at what cost? That is the question. 100 villagers now for Vortix compared to 109 for Puppy Paw. He must have lost close to 20 villagers right there. Was it worth it? I mean, the keep is up. There's no herbal oil. There's no herbal medicine. There's no boiling oil. That's the one we were thinking about. But already we can see that Puppy Paw's got every answer that you need to the question out on the field. He's got the Trebuchet. He's got the Bombard. It's going to be more than enough to deal with this keep. So even though this keep goes up, you know, what was the point? You lost a lot of villagers, and now you're losing the keep as well. Things not looking good for Vortix. You can definitely feel he's on the ropes at the moment. He's looking to get more elite upgrades in. Plenty of production out for him. He's got a barracks sitting at about 99%. 99.5%. Actually, no, it is. It's 99%. 98.9%. Hey, let's be accurate here. I mean, at this point, Vortix has done a pretty decent job to maintain this long without control of the double ponds. And I think this is really what it goes back to. The double pond really just sets it all apart. Now Puppy Paw looking to move into chemistry, going to be focusing a little bit more on those hand cannoneers. Towards the north, he continues just with this infinite food source. You know, who needs pastures when you've got infinite food on the open ocean? That's what it's all about, baby. Villagers getting picked up here, taken out by the hand cannoneers together with the lancers. He's going to be cleaning out plenty of the production, and a little bit of a counter attack going to be picked up in the middle. Spearman looking to chase it down. Keep in mind they've got the Yam network buff, 1.44 movement speed. Gets out a little charge. This is one of the things I hate about spears when they do enter into this the brace position. And they will just sit there in the brace instead of fighting. It's like, just go fight. I don't care. Just get into your fighting position, mate. But now the numbers for Vortix are slowly building. Is on 157 pop compared to 200 for Puppy Paw. Puppy Paw looking incredibly strong right now. And for me, it all just goes back to those 2 ponds. As soon as those 2 ponds flipped to blue, I just felt like, well, it's only a matter of time until he takes control and takes the game. And now we see more stables coming up. Vortix moving into a more horseman-focused composition. Going to be going for a classic Lange Connect Spear together with the horseman. It's a really nice composition once you get to the late game because you're going to have so much food from your Arkan Chapel with the mills buffing up, or that Arkan Chapel buffing up all the villagers. You've got to be able to spend it somehow. And now the villagers up the north side, 38 villagers, and the keep gets denied instantly for Vortix. Taken down. Sit down, he says. That keep, unfortunately, goes down. But with that, the Bombard also going to be looking for a re-up. Is he going to be able to get it? It looks like he's going to be able to. And now the Lange Connect on the front side. Going to be able to clean up a lot of these spears, but we see the regrouping coming back from Puppy Paw as he looks to hold on and force back this position. He's sitting on 144 population at the moment. Vortix is, and that keep does get up successfully. Remember, the Trebuchet is out. The Bombard was taken out, but I suspect there may be more on the way. A little bit of a tussle over towards this east side. The Sacred Site will be neutralized. One up to the west is still yet to be taken, but Riveted Chainmail going to be coming in for Vortix. This is the upgrade that gives your spears 3 extra armor. So these bad boys are pretty effective at fighting in the late game now with this extra armor. They've got that extra 3 armor, which really starts to add up when you start talking about, you know, fighting up against enemy spears where they're only doing 13 damage. So you go from, you know, receiving 10 damage to receiving 7 damage. That's a pretty decent reduction, a 30% reduction in damage in those spear v spear battles. Barracks on the back line, though. Yet to see any men-at-arms out. No, not even Castle Age men-at-arms research has come through yet. Puppy Paw looking decent, though, as that Trebuchet continues firing down upon the keep. Emergency repairs yet to come out, actually, for Vortix. Now, I don't know whether he's been able to extend... Oh, he hasn't been able to extend it out. A single house right here would extend this out all the way to the keep. Actually, yeah, you might need 2 houses. But emergency repairs would help him out a huge amount here. One of the things for Vortix is we've definitely not seen a really sufficient, or rather inefficient use of those emergency repairs. And now he looks to try and hold on. Town center going to be all garrisoned up. We hear those villagers being massacred. Elite horsemen's coming through, but the question's going to be whether it's going to be fast enough. Definitely feels like Puppy Paw is really pushing down the foot hard on Vortix at the moment. How's he doing with regard to expansion? Not going to be the best as he moves out towards this position. A keep going to be dropped down, but there's... Oh, no. Oh, no. Villagers, unfortunately. Rest in peace, guys. Rest in... Oh, my lord, rest in peace. 10 villagers now. Keep going to get cancelled. Not what you want from your keeps. Not what you want at all. And now more emplacements going to be coming through. It's going to be cannon emplacements. There's no way you're challenging this gold mine. Not at all. Now going to be looking to try and take stone instead. Puppy Paw continues sieging down the infrastructure. The numbers here looking decent. Where's that upgrade coming through? Where's that upgrade? 15 seconds on Damascus Steel. He's got the elite upgrade. We enter into the cinematic mode as he tries one last push to hold himself on. The hand cannon is completely surrounded. Spearman and Lance Connects down towards the south going to be trying their best. The hand cannon is going to be regrouping. The Bombard on the backside going to be looking to one-shot any units that it can. Whether it does is going to be a different matter. Elite Spears coming out in a pretty decent surround from this position. Puppy Paw, unfortunately, getting cleaned up pretty well here, but the hand cannoneers are able to regroup and fall back towards these outposts that are slowly but steadily getting emplacements on them. The Trebuchet and the Bombard are going to be used to siege here. And now all of a sudden, things looking really sour for Vortex. He's got 8 villages on gold, but the gold is running dry, less than almost 1,000 in that. He wanted to take this gold vein. He's got no access to gold. He's got 1,000 in the bank, and sure, he's got 4 relics pumping out resources or pumping out gold non-stop. But the reality is things are looking very grim. 172 population versus 200. Plenty of resources in the bank. Puppy Paw looking very strong in this first game in the series, fellas. This has been an absolute banger of a match. I got to be honest with you guys. I've enjoyed the hell out of this match. It's been incredible to watch the way that these pawns flip. You know, often people talk about the pawns. Once you've got control of the pawns, it's so difficult to lose control of the pawns, but Puppy Paw found a way. He found a way back into the game, and he's done an impressive job to get himself back into this. It was really looking early on in the game like there was no chance, but he managed to find a window. And now a little bit of a flank coming in from the south side. Once again, we enter into the cinematic mode as Puppy Paw tries to hold on and try and force his enemy out of this first game in the series. Hand Cannoneer's got a great little spot on the back here. Beautiful splits coming in from him. Love to see it. The battle of the brothers. We've got one brother from Spain, the other one from Canada, looking to try and fight it out. The Hand Cannoneer is being so damn strong. They've got that chemistry upgrade. Look at the beautiful splits right now. He's looking like Marine Lord, splitting his Marines up against the Bannerlings. But fortunately, the Bannerlings are going to be Lance Connect, Ronald McDonald wannabes. They're trying their best to hold on, but still those Hand Cannoneers looking so damn decent, so damn good, and good game gets called. There it is, Puppy Paw going to be your victor in this first game. Vortex going to be tapping out. Fellas, this is a best of 5 series, so do not go anywhere. There's going to be plenty more action from these two coming out. You make sure you check out EGC TV this weekend. The road to Red Bull Walla Lol, 15 GMT, Saturday and Sunday. Be there or be square.